WEAL News 8 begins with breaking news.
That breaking news, former President Joe Biden has been diagnosed with prostate cancer. Welcome to News 8 at 6. I'm McKenna Alexander. NBC's Yamiche Alcindor has more from the White House on this developing story.
Former President Joe Biden has been diagnosed with prostate cancer, his personal office announced on Sunday. The statement saying in part last week, former President Biden was seen for a new finding of prostate nodule after experiencing increasing urinary symptoms. On Friday, he was diagnosed with a prostate cancer. It also said that the cancer has spread to his bone. In a statement, it also said while this represents a more aggressive form of the disease, the cancer appears to be hormone sensitive, which allows for effective treatment. Now, a source familiar with President Biden's thinking, as well as the thinking of his family, says that he and his family are meeting with a range of doctors and are considering multiple treatment options, including hormone therapy for the cancer. The person also said he's resting at home right now in Wilmington, Delaware, and it's unclear where he will be treated. We should remind folks, of course, that President Biden is 82 years old. He's the oldest person to have held the presidency, and he is incredibly close with his family and has lived through, sadly, several tragedies, including losing his first wife and daughter in a car accident, and then later his oldest son, Beau Biden, to cancer. He has also had a long career in politics, and tonight prayers and well wishes are pouring in from lawmakers who knew him and know him well. We are also still waiting for a statement from President Trump. So far, the two, of course, have had a contentious relationship, but they've also met right here at the White House at the end of President Biden's presidency. So we expect at some point for President Trump as well as the White House to release a statement. Back to you.
New tonight out of Cumberland County, a Mechanicsburg man has been arrested after police say he brought a child from Tennessee to Pennsylvania. Upper Allen police say 18-year-old Taylon Bruce drove to Tennessee, picked up a girl, and brought her back to Pennsylvania without her parents' permission. Police say Bruce and the girl were found at a motel in Upper Allen Township where they found evidence of a sexual assault. Bruce was arrested and is currently facing multiple charges, including statutory sexual assault, unlawful contact with a minor, and more. Also new tonight out of Lancaster County, state police say the driver killed in the crash Carnarvon Township last month was a 17-year-old boy. Police say a 2005 Honda Accord was driving 60 miles per hour when it lost control at a curve and hit a dirt embankment on the side of Twin County Road. A passenger in the vehicle, identified as an 18-year-old man, was taken to the hospital to be treated for injuries. Police say the driver was pronounced dead on scene. At this time, no additional information has been released. Also new tonight, this time out of Lebanon County, emergency crews were called to a crash after a vehicle hit a building and a gas main. Dispatchers tell us that the crash happened just after 1:30 this afternoon on South 11th Street. Luckily, no one was hurt, though crews were on the scene for about an hour until they cleared. Also in Lebanon County, the concern continues as a possible bell tower collapse closes down a portion of a Lebanon City road. News 8's Taylor Hess joins us live out there with the latest. And Taylor, what are we learning tonight?
Yeah, McKenna, over here to my right is where that church is located, where the bell tower is at risk to collapse. North 8th Street remains closed from the cross sections of Church Street to Skull Street. And now there's, of course, your big orange road closed signs. But then once you start to get a little bit closer, there's these signs that say, due to the potential collapse of the bell tower at the church located at 337 North 8th Street, the 300 block of North 8th Street is closed to both vehicular and pedestrian traffic for your safety. Please do not ignore these barricades or the posted signage. Where that bell would be placed, it looks like there's a metal beam holding up part of that structure and holding it in place. Right below that, it looks like those window frames are starting to break and pull away from the structure. And there is a nearby business that has a sign posted on their door stating they were closed starting on the 16th and will remain closed until the 20th. Now, it's unclear if that is because of this possible bell tower collapse, but we do know the street closure and the possible collapse is impacting the Lebanon Intermediate School located directly across the street from the church. In a statement posted on Facebook, the district says, please be advised that North 8th Street will remain closed throughout the weekend. And on Monday, May 19th, all Lebanon Intermediate School students should use door J on Church Street. Students who use North 8th Street to walk and to drive to school should choose an alternate route. And now it's unclear whether this road will reopen anytime soon and when those workers will be back to go ahead and hopefully fix the bell tower. In Lebanon, Taylor Hess, WGAL News 8.
All right, Taylor, thank you. Now, right now, lanes are closed on Route 30 in York County so that crews can repair a sinkhole. Now, PennDOT tells us that these restrictions will be in place until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning on the westbound lanes of Route 30 in West Manchester Township. They say that sinkhole opened up along the right shoulder just east of the off-ramp to Route 74 last November. PennDOT spokesperson also tells us work will begin tomorrow on the Route 30 bridge that spans Route 15 near Gettysburg in Adams County. This work will require long-term lane restrictions in both directions of Route 30. So here's what you need to know. Starting tomorrow, the left lanes of 30 will be closed in both directions from Smith Road to Sheeler Road. These restrictions are expected to last 2 weeks, and that does include Memorial Day weekend. New at 6, right now, national gas prices have declined ahead of the busy Memorial Day holiday. According to the Lundberg report, the national average retail price for regular grade fell a modest 2.1 cents per gallon to be $3.21 during that period. And in the past 5 weeks, it's dropped a total of 12.3 cents per gallon. Analysts say that lower oil prices are responsible for this decrease. And according to AAA, the price for a gallon of gas will cost you $3.18 a gallon. Here in the Commonwealth, it's a little bit higher. It'll run you about $3.30 for a gallon, but in the Susquehanna Valley, filling your tank in Lancaster and York County will cost $3.27 a gallon, just a smidge higher in Adams County at $3.28 a gallon. In Franklin County, gas will cost you $3.22 a gallon, and it will cost more in Cumberland and Dauphin counties, where it's $3.26 for a gallon. Well, let's take a live look now across the Susquehanna Valley tonight on the News 8 Skycam Network. Some clouds out there, but I see some blue in Lebanon. It was a nice day outside, a little breezy. Meteorologist Ryan Argenti joins me now. And Ryan, what can we expect going in tonight and into the work week?
Yeah, well, it's going to continue to be breezy, McKenna. Like you said, we have some mix of some sun and clouds out there. Some areas cloudier than others. Some other areas seeing more sunshine. You can see York right now, more so clouds, but you can see the flag in the background there, really waving in the background there. It's been quite the breezy day, quite the gusty day as well. But here's some of those peak wind gust reports that we've received. Shrewsbury, 46 miles per hour. Middletown, 37 miles per hour. And stretching down into the lower 30s range in Manheim, Reedsville, and Fort Indiantown Gap. Quite a breezy day as well. Here's some other highest winds today in Harrisburg, gusted to 35 miles per hour, gusted to 30 miles per hour in Lancaster earlier, but sustaining in that 20 mile per hour range today. But what can we expect for the rest of the night tonight? These clouds will begin to clear. The breeze will settle a little bit. They'll diminish a little bit, but I will expect the breeze to remain through tonight. Sunshine and some passing clouds as we get into our Monday, but it continues to be dry and breezy as well. You can see that's reflected in our 12-hour forecast as well. Mostly clear conditions with lows dropping down into the lower 50s. But I'll have more on the full forecast and when we can expect our next best chance of rain coming up here in just a few minutes.